But first, lavish spending, $75 million on cars and trips and furniture by a host of California state agencies at a time when the state of California is broke.
When we got that spreadsheet that showed the $17,000 for a table, when I picked the director off the floor.
CBS 13 has been on the money with this story this week. Investigative producer, senior producer Mike Lurie joining us live in the newsroom now. Lawmakers heard about these spending practices, and it sounds like they were spending it pretty freely, Mike.
That's right, Sam. You know, it really boils down to a very basic question. Exactly how much money does it cost to buy a new chair and a desk for your office? Well, as we found out at the Capitol today, if you're the state of California, it can cost up to $7,000 and sometimes more.
Everybody is struggling right now, and those aren't the priorities of California, making sure that we've got new office cubicles.
New cubicles at a cost of $30 million, purchased by state agencies.
As we're adding more state workers in these really difficult times, we're adding them at a cost of $7,000 per workspace.
That's on top of $43 million spent for new cars. $5 million of that by the Department of Parks and Recreation.
We protect 70 million visitors a year who come to our parks. Almost every one of those forms of protection requires a vehicle.
Those state agencies say they feel they don't have a choice, fearing they'll lose that money if they don't spend it.
And so they end up spending things on cars, on TVs, all sorts of things that they may or may not need in order to prevent their budget from being cut the following year.
What we need to do is encourage them to find savings and roll that over into their next year's account. And that's where you see the $8,700 desk, the conferences, the travel.
Critics say the $75 million in spending could have been used for other needs, like providing health care access to low-income Californians.
There have been 4 clinics that have already had to close. This has impacted about 200,000 patients that no longer have access.
Today's Capitol hearing getting plenty of reaction, including the governor.
The more we can all look into at government and check out if there's any wasteful spending, the better it is for the people of California.
So we're looking at big changes in California following today's hearing, including more disclosure and certainly more scrutiny, especially from state lawmakers as they look more at this spending that's going on. And one little nugget that came out today, Sam, that was quite interesting, the Department of General Services saying that this year, 2010, so far, not one agency has purchased a new vehicle.
Well, they shouldn't, and the governor told them to stop doing that. It's almost a discussion in futility to see if anybody's going to be held responsible with government. But the question is, how do they stop spending? What is it at the Capitol? Is there anything going on to encourage these people to save instead of spend?
Well, there is. It's that whole use it or lose it philosophy, which state government agencies have been using for years. They're now being criticized for that and now looking at possibly rolling over some of the savings into next year's budget or perhaps even zero-based budgeting, things that private industries do all the time.
Private sector's been doing it for years, and it seems to work pretty well for them. Okay, thanks, Mike. Good piece. Appreciate that.